Hey Sam, I'm checking out your A9L computer here on the bench, and the first thing we're going to do is check the capacitors and see what kind of shape they're in. There's your first one. And let's see if I can get it to focus here a little bit. And the left leg is got some corrosion on it, some green crusties there. The right leg looks nice and bright. This is your second middle one. This one usually has to do with the mass air meter readings. One leg looks okay. The other leg's bad, and there's some damage on the board around it. You can see that discoloration on the board that shouldn't be there. That's where the electrolyte leaks out of the capacitor and kind of acts like acid and eats around there. So that is also corroding the legs on that next guy. That could be a problem. And then the third one here, it's also got a discoloration stain of some sort. The legs themselves look okay, but I don't like the discoloration of the board under it. That shouldn't be like that. So there's some damage there too. And that discoloration is extending out onto that trace, so it's a possibility it might be eating away at that trace. I'm definitely concerned about that yellow part there, which, if I remember right, is another type of capacitor. There's definitely some corrosion there. That's going to have to be removed and cleaned and replaced probably. Obviously it's going to get 3 new capacitors. These are the original teal blue capacitors. So this is a virgin ECU that's not been repaired before. I'm just looking at the traces below to see if the leak has caused major board damage or not. You never really can tell until you get it apart and have the old capacitors removed. That one seems like the worst candidate. That has a lot to do, this particular middle one has a lot to do with mass air readings from what I've experienced. And that can cause some, air-fuel ratio errors that can make it run pretty awful. So yeah, definitely these are leaking and need to be replaced, and there's some damage, especially on this one. There's some damage on the board that's going to have to be inspected and repaired, hopefully. And now let's go to the function test. So this is just a general indication of power. This is your check engine light, and this is your fuel pump operation. This should run for 1 second when you turn the key on. Check engine light should come on solid at this point. So when we turn it on, we see the fuel pump operates for 1 second and then goes out. That's actually pretty normal, but this is not normal. There should be voltage right here from the 5-volt regulator, and I've not even seen one before where it's totally black like that. I'm pretty sure that means that there's no voltage at all coming out of the 5-volt regulator. So that could indicate some additional problems, that maybe just changing the capacitors is not going to be enough. And then here's the self-test mode, and that does nothing. Let's try that again. Key on. Self-test mode, and there's no change at all. So, well, the fuel pump runs for 1 second like it should. This self-diagnostic stuff is not working, and the 5-volt regulator is not working. I would say this computer probably is not functioning, or not functioning well in the car for sure. So we'll talk about it, but that's what I see.